90 Day Fiance is easily one of the most bizarre reality shows on TV. There might be a reason why we never hear about Casper's backstory all that much, and it's largely because it could have very well put a damper on the movie, which was supposed to be a pleasant family film for everyone. Apparently Casper's backstory was much darker and a lot more disturbed than anyone would have wanted to see in the film. It starts off that Casper's mom passed away giving birth, leaving him to be raised by his father. For those who aren't familiar, 90 Day Fiancé follows a cast made up of American citizens and their foreign partners. Each couple has one goal, to get approved for the K-1 visa, which will allow the foreign partner to stay in the country as long as the couple is married within 90 days. As you can probably imagine, the short time frame coupled with cultural differences doesn't always make for smooth sailing. As the show's popularity has grown, so has the number of people interested in joining the cast. But does everyone who wants to be on the show simply want to share their love story? Or, is joining the cast a chance to make some easy money? Keep reading to find out if the cast of 90 Day Fiancé gets paid. How much does the cast get paid? First things first, cast members on 90 Day Fiancé do get paid. However, the exact amount they earn is a little harder to verify. Nikki Cooper, whose husband Chris is friends with cast member David Toborowski, said that cast members make about $1,000 per episode and an additional $2,500 for the tell-all. This means that people on the show can earn around $15,000 per season. Some sources say that this amount if given to all of the cast members regardless of their citizenship status. However, other sources suggest that only the Americans on the show are paid. The source says, the foreign cast members can't even get paid because they have to wait for a work permit. It's of course different if filming takes place in their country. $15,000 may sound like a lot of money, especially considering the cast doesn't really have to work for it. Apparently his father was a pleasant and even doting man and tried to make his son happy. When Casper all but begged for a sled, his father gave him one and allowed him to go sledding all day. But compared to some of other reality shows on TV, $15,000 for an entire season isn't much. Plus, if you've ever watched the show, you know that finances are a major issue for many of the couples, so it's clear that whatever they do make from the show doesn't stretch too far. On the other hand, the pay rates for the 90 Day spin-off seem to be a bit different. Unfortunately, it would seem that somehow Casper contracted pneumonia and died not long after. Couples on Before the 90 Days make just $500 per episode. Instead of moving on to the afterlife, however, he stuck around, not wanting his father to be all alone. This prompted his father to make the attempt to build an artificial body that Casper could inhabit. Couples on 90 Day Fiancé, happily ever after, can make anywhere between $2,000 and $7,500 per episode. Unfortunately, he was taken to an asylum before he could test the contraption out and was never seen again. Essentially, it benefits people to stay within the franchise and eventually make it to happily ever after. Does the show cover any expenses? Since all of the couples on the show started off in a long-distance situation, there are lots of expenses that come with maintaining their relationship. For example, flying in and out of the country and covering any fees associated with the visa application process. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like the show covers any of these expenses. That alone sounds like a very tragic story that understandably didn't make it to the final cut for the Casper movie. Outside of the pay per episode, the network doesn't appear to offer any financial help, which means there's even less of an incentive for people to join the show just to make money. Other ways to make money. Fortunately for the couples on the show, especially the more popular ones, there are other ways they can use their time on the show to make money. Many of the cast members have gained massive followings on social media. This has allowed them to become brand ambassadors and take on other sponsorship opportunities. For example, Darcy Silva, who is one of the most well-known cast members in the entire franchise, has over 850,000 followers on Instagram and has started a business with her twin sister. Detailing how he was all alone in the house was more than enough, but reliving the pain of an existence that was cut short by tragedy would have elevated the movie from being a family film straight into a supernatural drama that would have been a little too much to be a family-driven picture. Casper the Friendly Ghost has been a cartoon that has been around for generations now and has been fully enjoyed by many kids whether it's Halloween or not.
The story of Casper has been something that kids have managed to find endearing and even entertaining throughout the years. Yet it never struck a lot of people that the ghost of a kid could be anything tragic, mostly because Casper was such a fun-loving and kind spirit that no one really thought about delving into his backstory. Additionally, she earns extra money by making customized videos on Cameo. While being on 90 Day Fiance may not be a come-up in itself, it can still prove to be a worthwhile experience for people looking to share their love stories. Nowadays, however, the idea of a child ghost is more than enough to get anyone riled and ready to ask a slew of questions. It kind of doesn't help that there are a host of movies out there now that deal with children and the many issues they must face as well in very negative terms. Some of those that are supernatural in origin are more than a little disturbing and are uniquely geared towards making certain that the backstory of the affected children is either as normal or as messed up as can be. So really, honestly, truly, Casper's backstory is not as bad as it could be, but it is extremely tragic. Casper didn't stay out of a deep-seated grudge or because he was afraid of moving on. He did so out of the deep love that he had for his father and the desire to not leave him alone in the world. So as dark as his backstory might have been, it still had some light to it.